Yes, the title is not an exaggeration. This episode, Rogue, episode 6, in this season of Doctor Who, felt like a Tumblr fanfic. At least to me. And let me tell you why. This episode starts in a very contained environment, as most of the episodes in this series are. This is kind of interesting, I guess. It's very contained. The Doctor and Ruby, they start in a ball in the 19th century. And there is all this manner punk style of pomp and circumstance and things. However, there is a bounty hunter called Rogue who is there in order to get some shape-shifting alien. And he sees the Doctor and realizes, yes, that's a shapeshifter. Only after they have a tense conversation in his spaceship, the Doctor makes him realize that no, I'm not a shapeshifter, I'm a Time Lord. And they hit it off. They're flirting. Rogue is a man. So you already know that some people are going to be very offended because this doctor is gay. But we knew that. The guy was dancing in a nightclub. No offense, but yeah. This doctor is super gay and it kind of works. So there is this romantic tension, and as we get farther into the show, we see that there is not just one shapeshifter. There is a lot of twist and turn in this episode. Ruby is she's proving her worth in a way. In this episode, she's a modern girl in another era, and she's trying to cope with it. And yeah, this episode was fluff. It was filler and was very mid, but at the same time it was very fanfiction-y because... not just because of Rogue. I mean, okay, Rogue was like this Captain Jack type of a moral hero, like in the Doctor dances. And yes, there is a dance. The Doctor and Rogue dance in the middle of the ball to get attention to them. And it's like two men dancing in the 19th century, so everybody's shocked. Fortunately, the Tumblr fanfic aspect of this episode does not extend to everybody clapped, because nobody did. They were shocked. What is the fanfic aspect of it? It's like there are a lot of geek references. At some point in the spaceship, the Doctor sees some many-sided dice and asks Rogue, "Are you into D&D? That's how you got your name?" And Rogue makes a quip about Dungeons & Dragons, because Dungeons & Dragons get it. We need the Dungeons & Dragons reference. It's pop culture and important. And then we have the shapeshifters who are there in the 19th century in this ball with nobles because they watch Bridgerton and they want to cosplay or maybe LARP as Bridgerton characters. And yes, in order to take the form of another person, they drain them of life. So they're pretty immoral and baddies. And there is some stuff happening here and there. There are a lot of pop culture references that are tiresome, to be honest. It's very millennial writing, and I'm a millennial, and I think that it was too millennial for me, so that's not a great idea. I mean, I get the references, but you know what, it's kind of cringy. And if at some point your character is doing a D&D reference, but is not aware of what television is, and actually come to think of it, Ruby says, no, the Doctor explains that we have antennas and they send TV shows to space and they see that they come to play Bridgerton, but Bridgerton is not on TV, I believe. I think it's only on Netflix. And also, for fuck's sake, you have a premium show for Disney Plus, Doctor Who, and you reference Netflix. Disney Plus is crude. Like, yes, they're aliens watching Netflix and they come to Earth to kill people. So yeah, guys and girls, stop watching Netflix. Or we have alien inventions. Get Disney Plus. That's what I get from this episode. Yes, I know people will be probably pissed because of the Doctor flirting with a non-female person. But whatever. Whatever, guys. I think it fit what we knew about the Doctor and how the romance works. It actually makes me think and wonders about how sexuality works for Time Lords, like when they regenerate, there is a hormonal change, so their preferences change. because, 9 was not that smoothie with Rose, and then 10 was all about it, and then 10 met River Song, and he was like, okay, 11 was all about it. So maybe the biology changed, and it's like, oh, my hormones are different right now, and I want to smash what I was not about to smash before. This rogue character, he feels a bit like Captain Zack in Dr. Dances, and also feels like River Song in a way. So he's kind of unequal to this doctor, which is always interesting. It's more interesting to have the doctor falling for a space traveler, an adventurer, instead of, the average girl and going 50 Shades of TARDIS with her, like they did with Rose and almost did with Amy. Yes, they had a season where the doctor was trying to calm his mother-in-law, his future mother-in-law, because she wanted to jump his bones. All hail Stephen Moffat and his wobbly-wobbly, timey-wimey nonsense. This episode was not that much fun, but even as a filler episode in the season, it was good, it was very well made, and I thought that the production values are very high. Maybe it's the contained episodes, like there are not many sceneries and not too many special effects, and the way the episodes run based on dialogue and less on special effects, I think it's working very well. It's an interesting aspect of this season, and also, yes, there is the old lady that keeps reappearing over and over again. She was the face in the ambulance in Boom, and she was the walker early in 73 Yards, and also she was the mother in Dot and Bubble, can you recall her name? And that's where Ruby realizes that, or the doctor realizes that, and here she's in a portrait, and it's sort of like Clara in her Impossible Girl saga, who keeps reappearing. It's something like that, and the next episode will probably get some answers. Also, we don't see snow again. It's like snow stops, and the last time it snows, it's on 73 yards. So maybe this is important, and yes, at this point, I'm invested in the story arc and who Ruby is, and I don't care if the episode's kind of mid. It's not annoying, it's not Space Babies. And as long as it's not Space Babies, I won't complain, I'll just watch it and have fun with it and let flow. And you know what, after over and over again, I don't bother too much about the version Doctor Who. Doctor Who did that back 20 years ago a lot. Russell Davies was adamant on having representation on screen, and I think he managed to balance it quite well. I mean, you kind of notice, where you notice in the earlier Doctor Who episodes, but back then it was kind of a novelty, because not many shows were as adamant about adding representation. It was well done, it was like blink and you miss it elements, or maybe, Captain Zack, alright? It was very hard to miss Captain Zack, but it was never getting in the way of episodes, the way that the Tumblr era did, or like most shows these do. And there are a lot of shows that try to do the same thing, have representation, and it ends up as a sort of weighing on the shows that makes them not work. I mean, I've been watching Legends of Tomorrow on CW, which back when we were in the Tumblr era, it was the better Doctor Who show, and at some point everybody on that spaceship was LGBTQIA, and it's like, come on dude, come on, it's too much. Like, your brain starts to melt because you realize that it's improbable numbers. And Doctor Who, yes, it was kind of improbable numbers back then, and it's still kind of improbable numbers, but it never gets in the way. Even when the Doctor dances with another guy and they're flirting, it's not in the way. It could work with, if you think that this rogue dude was a chick, it works the same way. It's the same Doctor Who. It's just, different genders. And when Time Lords regenerate, it's probably not that important. I mean, think about it. You're married to a chick and she dies, regenerates, now she's a dude. What's going on? How do you deal with that? Probably that's an episode that Steven Moffat will do at some point. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm babbling right now and I'm waiting to be told that I'm a huge snowflakes in the comments. But that's just me. I don't care. I'm here for the time adventures and the crazy aliens and maybe some interesting concepts, and I'm getting that. This episode, it had nothing of that. It was just filler and too much pop culture references for my taste. But then again, I care. I had fun, and I'm really looking forward to see what's coming next. And I believe that the next 2 episodes is the season finale, and I'm all out to watch it, and I really want to know what's going on with Ruby. I hope so do you. So see you then. Have fun. Stay positive.